What is up guys, I do hope you're well, and today we're taking our first look at Entitled People. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even that notification bell, and let's get straight into it. Entitled woman wants to buy my Pomeranian pup because she matches her Gucci bag. I tell not only no, but hell no. The cast: GW, Gucci woman, Blaze, fur baby extraordinaire, and me, obviously. This happened over 10 years ago. One of my Pomeranians had 5 gorgeous little pups, who we named Callisto, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Blaze. Hopefully I got those names right. We decided to keep one, to keep the bloodline going. We fix her mum after, and find homes for the rest. So we put out some purebred papered Pomeranian pups for sale, with pictures, ads on certain legitimate sites. I actually tried Craigslist, but all I got were perverts calling up expecting, of all things, hookers. One guy actually told me he thought Pomeranian pup for sale meant undergrade hookers from Pomerania. What the fuck? I pulled the ad 36 hours after I put it up. I know some of you are asking, why did we charge? Why not just give them away? It wasn't about the money, so don't even go there. We only charge for the cost of food, vaccinations and grooming. We charge because we learned a long time ago that when people get free stuff, they tend to rarely, if ever, take care of it. It's one thing to treat a piece of furniture or car like crap, but an entirely different thing when it's a living, breathing animal. For us, it's always been about making sure whoever got our little fur babies would be able to give them a good home, lots of love and attention, and be able to pay for good food and any vet bills should the dog become sick or hurt. We also ask, should they be unable to keep them for any reason, that they bring them back to us, and if they do so within 6 months of adoption, we will refund their money. We also insist on face-to-face interviews and a meeting between the dog and prospective parent to make sure they're compatible. This is very important. We ask a lot of questions in order to weed out the people who have no dog experience. Poms can be high maintenance and aren't a beginner's dog. People who are getting a gift for their toddler, grandkid, etc. People who want to be a breeder/stud dog, and those that desire a handbag dog. This is especially prevalent when Paris Hilton was popular. This will be relevant. This story is about our last category. I had arranged to meet this woman, GW, at a busy coffee shop near a police station. I'm not stupid, Poms are an expensive breed and people were unpredictable/nuts. GW was around her early to mid 20s, pretty, immaculately dressed, with perfect everything. Hair, nails, etc. and carrying a big black tan Gucci bag. I know it was Gucci because she told me several times. Despite her being the groom to the eyeballs type, the interview went pretty well and Blaze seemed to like her, though she is a shy dog. GW was friendly, told me she'd grown up around dogs, had a house with a good sized backyard, knew a good groomer. I knew the guy, so all good. Named the vet she took her mum's dog to. This should have been a red flag when she said her mum's dog, and I could see she definitely had the money to take care of the pup she wanted. She wanted Blaze, who is what is called a wolf sable, which is a black and tan, with some white on the chest. So far the interview was going well. That's until I asked this question. So what made you decide on a Pomeranian? Well, they're just so adorable and cuddly, and Blaze is just a perfect dog. She's just the right size, the right set, and she totally matches my Gucci bag. You almost heard the screech of tires in my head at those words. I found my jaw hit the table. What? My Gucci bag! And she holds it up for emphasis. She's so small and cute and matches it so well. She'll fit into it perfectly. She giggled. Actually, fucking giggled. I was aghast. Was she out of her mind? Me picking my jaw back up. I'm sorry, GW. Not sorry in the least. But this isn't going to work out. I can't sell her to you. GW confused. What do you mean? Why not? Because she's a dog, not an accessory. GW was annoyed. I know she's a dog. Me, even more annoyed. But that's not why you want her. You want her because she matches your stupid bag. You see her as an accessory, as a toy. What are you going to do if you get a different colour bag? Give her away? Get another puppy? Have her dyed to match? I was nearly shouting at this point. GW's face went scarlet. She opened and closed her mouth several times but said nothing. You're getting a dog for all the wrong reasons. I can't sell it to you. I suggest you go to Theo Schwartz, I don't know what that is, and get yourself a plushie. I stood to leave. GW sounded almost desperate. I'll pay more. How does $500 extra sound? No, I was charging $350. No. $600. She matches my bag so well. This was definitely the wrong thing to say. The audacity of this woman. Me shaking my head and rolling my eyes. Sorry, Paris. Not a chance. Seek life elsewhere. With that, and one final glare, I grabbed the carrier of my precious Blaze in it, turned and left, as GW stood there, doing a pretty good open mouth fish impression. GW called several times as I drove home, leaving messages on my phone that varied from begging to whining to threatening litigation and breach of contract. But she gave up after 3 days of me ignoring her messages. I did, however, contact all the other reputable small dog breeders, including the ones in other states I could find, and told them not to sell to this woman. I even played some of the crazier messages she left. I even called some pet stores and local ASPCAs, just in case. I effectively blacklisted GW from getting a dog from any reputable breeder, pet store or adoption place. Don't know if she ever got a handbag dog, but at least she didn't get my precious Blaze, whom I still have to this day. Wow. I know there's people like Paris Hilton out there, but it's like we say, what do they do when they get a new bag? Do they get a new dog? It's really sad, isn't it, if that is the case? It's quite scary, actually. Aunt wants what she didn't pay for. Some backstory: my grandfather loves the theatre, and he gets 2 season subscriptions every year to 2 separate theatre groups for the family. As he has a hard time keeping organised, everything is in my name, and I organise who gets to go to each play, as we only have so many tickets. Every year both theatres have extra plays that aren't included in the lineup, but can be purchased earlier by season ticket holders for cheaper than market prices. My aunt wanted to go and see one of these plays and caused me to buy the tickets. The price for her and her friends ends up being around $800. She then asked me if I can put it on my credit card, and she'd give me the cash later. I'm 22 at the time, and had just quit a job as a delivery driver due to a serious accident that insurance refused to cover. I did not have that much in my savings account, so reluctantly agreed to get the tickets, as long as she gave me the money first. She kept putting it off till almost a month had passed, and I told her firmly I wouldn't pay, as if I'd charged it when she asked, I'd have a late fee and interest to pay now. She then got her dad, the same as above, to use his credit card to buy them. He agreed as long as she paid him back, or he'd sell them. He was very firm on paying him back, as my aunt had bailed last minute on multiple plays, as in the night before, so others weren't able to go instead. And we couldn't even try and sell the tickets. She agreed to this. Fast forward a few months, and she calls me again and asks if I can buy 7 tickets to another show. I said I'd look it up, and for the day she wanted and the specific seats she wanted, it would be around $1,800. The tickets before were nosebleed on a weekday in the afternoon. The new ones were prime seating on a weekend night. I told her the price and she adamantly swore that grandfather okayed it, and to go ahead and use his card he had given me before. I told her that I didn't have it and had to call him. She whined and reluctantly hung up. As expected, grandfather had no idea about this, and was furious she hadn't paid him back yet from the previous show tickets. So I called and said he told me no, and boy was she mad. It's been a few months since this happened, and the plays are coming up. I talked to my grandfather nearly every week since this happened, and every time I asked him if she has paid yet, nope. But for the last few weeks she's been asking me at every opportunity if I can give her the tickets, and I've told her no. Grandfather said she hasn't paid for them. Recently told me to sell them because the play's coming up, and she hasn't paid. Woo freaking who. As I have been busy job hunting, I haven't had time to list them. Now aunt wants me to babysit, and she asked me to bring the tickets over. I'm torn between wanting to tell her no, you haven't paid for them, or saying that I've sold them and there was no way to get them back. Now my grandfather does have memory issues, so there's a 1% chance she did pay him and he forgot, but it's highly unlikely. But both of us agree she would have made a big deal about it, and grandfather would have written it down. She has used his memory problems before to manipulate and deceive him in the past. So before I babysit this weekend, I'm planning on getting a witness to grandfather saying I can sell the tickets. I am simple gleefully thinking about how her friends probably have gave her the money for the tickets and she kept it because she assumed her dad would just pay for her, as he has done in the past. Good luck trying to get the seats this late, bitch. I like that you got some revenge in there as well, that's really good. She sounds like a horrible person, and you're actually babysitting for her still as well. She just sounds like she takes advantage of any situation she can. What an awful family member. Put my mother in a home so I can sell her house. Hi, first post, but I love this sub. This is a bit long, so bear with me. I'm a nurse, so I see tons of crazy things and have so many insane hospital stories. This happened a few years ago on our elderly care ward, but I remember it so clearly. LP, lovely patient, about 80 years old, and a really sweet old lady. ED, entitled daughter. CN, charge nurse. She was in charge of the ward that day. Me. So LP was brought into hospital by ED because she was repeatedly falling at home and had become really confused. After some tests she was diagnosed with a UTI and admitted to our elderly care ward for treatment plus rehab. She responded quickly to the antibiotics and physiotherapy, and after a couple of weeks was deemed medically fit for discharge. We asked if she wanted any help for when she went back home, and she agreed to twice daily carers to help her get up in the morning and back into bed, as she lived alone. We also agreed to have occupational therapists install hand/grab rails and some other equipment, as she owned her own house, very important for later. After talks with the entire medical team, we decided to aim to get her home by the end of the week, and I called ED, who had not visited LP during an entire admission, to inform her of the plan, and to ensure she could let LP back into the house because ED had the only house key. Hello ED, I'm calling from the hospital. Is my mum alright? Yeah, she's doing incredibly well. Don't worry, that's actually why I'm calling. We're thinking of sending her home at the end of the week. We were wondering if you're able to pick her up, or if we should arrange transport to take her home and have you let her in. Edie is silent. Is everything okay? I thought you were putting her into a nursing home. I'm slightly shocked. Oh no, she's had an amazing recovery, and we're going to put some equipment and carers in place so she'll be safe at home. Edie's sounding very annoyed. You were meant to put her in a home. That was the entire reason I took her to hospital to begin with. I've already put her house up for sale. At this point, I'm trying really hard to stay professional on the phone, because seriously, what the fuck? Me trying to stay calm and lighten the conversation. Well, she'll be home Friday, so you should take the ad down. She said she's really looking forward to cooking a proper roast when she gets back. Edie gets slightly defensive and embarrassed. Well, I might have sold her oven and her washing machine. I'm sorry, you've done what? Does LP know you've done this? She then starts shouting on the phone about how it's my fault, that she has a right to the property, how if I've done my job right, blah blah blah. Then she has to speak to someone in charge who knows what they're doing. So I put her on hold and find CN, who's really lovely but can be very scary when she wants, and explain everything to her. CN was pissed. She storms over to the phone, and after what I assumed was some sort of sob story from ED, CN firmly and coldly said, "You need to take that house off the market now and get a new cooker and washing machine ASAP. If they're not there by Friday, we'll be reporting this to the police as theft," and hung up. After a long chat with CN and documenting the entire conversation in the notes, if you don't write it down, it never happened. I just tell LP what had happened, and that there might be a delay in her going home. She was very upset, but not surprised that Edie had done this. After making her a cup of tea to cheer her up, she thanked me for all my help, and told me that she'd be changing her will as soon as she got home. Oh, what kind of... Who does that to their parents? That's so awful. I mean, we don't know the full story. We don't know what the relationship between like the mother and daughter is, because some of them are really bad. But still, your elderly mother, you're going to sell... You want her to go into a home, and... I mean, as someone who's lost their mum recently, it's absolutely tragic that anyone could do that to their parent. As I said, I don't know the full relationship, so I'm trying to keep my cool, because... Man, what I do to get my mum back, people should just appreciate their parents, man. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Entitled People. If you did like this, let me know in the comments below, and we may be able to get some more going in the future. As always guys, I really appreciate your support. Take care now, much love, goodbye.